Welcome to my channel. Today's video will be talking about liquidity still. Our last video was about liquidity, and this I'll be explaining the difference between liquidity grab and liquidity sweep. Most of you will be hearing this concept and be wondering, there's not so much to it. Most traders use this interchangeably, so I will be explaining this in this video to help you understand what the difference is. So listen closely. So like we already talked about last week, our buy side and sell side. So today is just the liquidity grab and the liquidity sweep. So firstly, liquidity sweep. Let's start with liquidity sweep. Liquidity sweep is usually when price moves through a key high or a low and takes liquidity from that area. Usually price would sweep multiple levels and then move back in the opposite direction. So the only difference between the liquidity grab and the liquidity sweep is that the liquidity sweep happens really fast and could also sweep out multiple highs or multiple lows just to grab liquidity. I already explained what liquidity is in our last class, which is simply just money. So price action is hunting for where people have their orders and their stop losses sitting, and those areas are just the liquidity. So now if it moves with a lot of momentum and speed towards that area, breaks a couple multiple highs, or moves and break multiple lows, that's literally liquidity sweep, and then it reverses to the opposite direction after the momentum, which is typically what we have on our screen here. You can see the way this came down. It broke here, and then it comes down here. You can see all of this week. I've told you this week represents rejection. Price could not sit at those levels, so it's rejected. So that's a very, very good example for you to understand and see that price got there but did not sit there, which means it's hunting. It's not meant to be there, so it's hunting, but it tapped into those areas. So if you have your orders sitting at those areas, you would have gotten stopped out, or your orders would have gotten triggered. And if your stop loss is still in the same level, you would have gotten stopped out. Market has taken your money without you even running that trade because you have an order sitting there. And even if you were on the trade, you still will be stopped out. But you can see the aggressive movement that it took, and then it reversed to the other direction. And that's what liquidity sweep is like. Then liquidity grab, they are not so far from each other, is also what this did here. It doesn't move with so much momentum, it just goes and just goes and just goes, and then it still goes for the same thing. So after all of this week that shows rejection, price rejected that area, after all of those weeks showing rejection, it comes back and it still clears those areas, but not as aggressive as the first one, but it still moves fast and comes to clear that area, and it doesn't do too much like the other one would. So that's literally what liquidity grab is like. You see, it goes below the entire rejection area on the first movement, and then it continues to go gradually, and then here's price keeps growing. So liquidity grab happens very fast, and it breaks multiple highs, multiple lows. Liquidity sweep, breaks multiple high, multiple lows depending on the direction that is going towards, and then it grabs all of that liquidity. You see the rejection. But for the liquidity grab, it just goes with momentum too, but not as aggressive as the liquidity sweep. The liquidity grab just goes, perhaps breaks just one low or one high, and it doesn't break it. Oh, sorry. And it doesn't break it entirely. It just goes there and just creates an equal high or equal low, and then just grabs that and then moves in the direction it's supposed to. So that's literally the difference between the liquidity sweep and the liquidity grab. So there's not so much to it, so don't let these concepts confuse you. Liquidity is very simple to understand. You just don't have to overthink it, and keep it very, very simple. You have to keep it very simple. So I think that's really all you need to understand about liquidity sweep and liquidity grab. There's not so much to it. You can check the link in my description for a good broker and for your charts. I use TradingView and Exness. I'll drop the link in the description. If you have questions, do not hesitate to drop them in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.